It's my senior year of college, so I wanted to make a video trying to capture what my Christian college experience is really like. Since freshman year, a lot has changed. I switched my major, there's new classes, a different schedule, and I hang out with new friends. There's also a lot more responsibility than I had my first year. Some days are easier than others. With 4 weeks left until graduation, I'm trying to live life to the very fullest. This is what Christian university really looks like. I have the same routine every morning, starting off with a shower while listening to music. I like to start every morning with worship to center myself with a spiritual focus. I noticed having Jesus at the forefront of my day sets the tone for what the rest of the day will look like. After I get ready and get changed, I like to spend time in the Bible. Right now I'm reading through the Gospel of John, and it's been one of the most impactful parts of my daily routine. Something that stood out to me recently in John 15 is where Jesus talks about abiding in him, and how he is the vine and we are the branches. That idea has been really encouraging, just the reminder that I'm not meant to do life on my own or strive for anything in my own strength, but trusting in him for his provision. After I finish my time in the Word, I grab my backpack and head out the door. I currently live on the Quads, which is the apartment-style dormitory. Normally I have about a 5-minute commute to the other side of campus in the morning. After parking, I head to one of my favorite places to eat breakfast, Chick-fil-A. There are a couple different dining options at Liberty, but with my plan, you get 10 meal swipes a week at a variety of different restaurants on campus. Now that I have my Chick-fil-A, I'm headed to grab breakfast with my friend Steve. Steve is a new friend of mine. We met this semester through a mutual friend, and he texted me the other day asking to grab breakfast. So I'm really glad we had the opportunity to spend some time together and catch up. We had a really good conversation about our time at Liberty and plans for the future. After I say goodbye to Steve, I head to work. One of my favorite parts about being at Liberty is my job. I work for Liberty University's marketing department as a student worker on the video team. In my role as a student worker on the video team, I get to film a lot of different types of really cool events. At this point, I've been working at marketing for about 2 years, and it's been one of the most practical ways I've been able to apply my major to what I want to do in the future. When I first came to Liberty, I was actually a business major, but at the beginning of my sophomore year, I realized that business just wasn't for me. I went on this journey of figuring out what I was passionate about and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. But every time I thought about it, I kept coming back to the idea of doing video production and social media. Right now, we're getting ready to film Convocation. Convocation is the largest weekly gathering of Christian students in the world. On a morning where I'm filming Convocation, myself and a group of other employees from marketing will arrive at the Vine Center. First, I say hi to a few friends on the floor, and then we start each service with worship. It's such a unique experience to get to worship in the same room as thousands of other Christian students. Normally I'm walking around the bottom of the concourse looking for different moments to capture within worship and translate what I'm seeing visually to recorded video. After worship, it was time for today's speaker, Gia Chacon. She gave a powerful message about the church and what the reality of persecution looks like around the globe. One quote that she said that really stuck with me is that when we make a decision that we're willing to die for our faith, it changes how we live, and that really impacted me. Now that Convocation is over, me and my coworkers walk back to the office. It's 75 degrees outside this afternoon, so a lot of people are hanging out on the academic lawn enjoying the weather. We arrived back at Green Hall to return our equipment and sort footage. As I'm putting away my gear, I connect with Wynn to debrief Convocation and talk about the shots we captured and what went well. Then I quickly change back into something more comfortable before I sort my footage. At this point, I'm getting pretty hungry, so I head downstairs for lunch. I decided to hop in line at Matsumiya today, which is one of our newer restaurants available. It's actually my second time having it. I remember last time it was really good. I pick up my order and head upstairs to meet my friend Zach. Zach is one of my best friends here at Liberty. We randomly met my sophomore year when I accidentally invited him on a hike thinking he was a different Zach, but now I consider him one of my closest friends. Zach and I have a lot of shared interests, and over the past 3 years we've actually traveled to 17 countries together. I hang out with him almost every day, but on Wednesdays we're both pretty busy, so we normally grab a quick lunch together. During our conversation, we talked about what summer was going to look like and an upcoming road trip we had planned. I say goodbye to Zach and he heads out to his next class, and I go to my only class of the day. Today I have Strategic Communications, 346. This is one of my favorite classes I've had at Liberty thus far. My professor is super knowledgeable, and I've actually learned a lot of applicable principles about advertising and storytelling. In today's class, we talked about the power of evergreen content and how when companies create engaging, useful information for their consumers, it tends to do well long term. After the lecture portion, we broke up into our assigned groups for our group project. For this upcoming project, we are brainstorming commercial ideas for a spec ad we are making for wine. After meeting with my team, we broke for the day and ended class. While I was in class, my friend George texted me asking if I wanted to go on a Target run. It had been a few days since I saw George, so we caught up driving over there. He just had a few items to grab, but I was mostly there for the vibes. We perused down the aisles, and I grabbed a Gatorade. Afterwards, we headed back to campus, and George dropped me off at my dorm. I had a few minutes before I needed to leave, so I caught up on a few texts and my Instagram reels for the day. Now I head out to one of my favorite parts about Wednesday, hall dinner. Every residential hall has their own hall dinner on Wednesday nights, just before our time at Campus Community. It's a time to just connect with people from your hall and enjoy fellowship. Oftentimes, we're either throwing around a football or just hanging out, enjoying each other's company. We had our hall dinner outside the library, where I got to hang out with friends from my hall and our sister hall. After dinner, it was time for Campus Community in the Vine Center. Campus Community is similar to Convocation, except it's more of a spiritual focus. In my opinion, it is the driving force behind spiritual growth at Liberty. Over the past 4 years, I've been really challenged and grown by what I've learned. Right now, we're going through a sermon series on the Psalms of Ascent. Tonight, we heard from our Chancellor, Jonathan Falwell, and he gave a powerful message from Psalms 127. From the text, he showed us 3 habits: seeking, trusting, and praising. And that should be the constant rhythm of a believer's life to ensure we are anchored in God's word, regardless of our circumstances. We always end off the night with an extended time of worship. While Campus Community is the driving force, community groups is the heartbeat of spiritual growth at Liberty. Every residential student is placed in a community group, where a group leader is checking in on them and spiritually pouring into the lives of their group members. Another hat I wear at Liberty is being a resident shepherd. It is a hall leadership position similar to being an RA, except our focus is on spiritual growth and support for hall community. After we meet with the hall leadership, we head to hall meeting, which is run by the RAs, where we talk about upcoming events and hall-related announcements. From there, our students break for community groups. Tonight, our Brosis leadership team decided to go to Waffle House during community groups. Most of the job of a resident shepherd is investing into others. The school does a really good job of structuring leadership so people are supported to succeed in their roles. And for me, being an RS is kind of like being an older brother figure to guys in the hall, someone they can go to whenever they are having issues or need someone to talk to. One of my favorite parts about being in hall leadership as a resident shepherd is the camaraderie of working as a tight-knit team to accomplish the same goal. It is our job to lead the hall and ensure every single person feels seen and known. After we wrap things up at Waffle House, it's time to go back to campus and wind down for the day. I know it sounds cliche, but between academics, work, social life, and leadership duties, the common theme between my day is training champions for Christ. Liberty does a good job to weave biblical principles into everyday life. And between freshman year and now, in me what has changed is I'm more confident in who Jesus has made me to be. And every day is an opportunity not to build up my own kingdom, but to glorify Him with what I do with my day. What has made my college experience so unique is the relationships I've developed past the surface level with people who have pushed me to grow personally and spiritually. And I know that these people I'm going to be really good friends with past graduation. So this is what it really looks like to go to a Christian university. And with that ends my day, and I'll do it all over again tomorrow.